So here we are again, another gorgeous day to be filming out on the hill and talking about good music. And today I'm going to be going through two seconds in and I've already fucked up 10 amazing album closers. That's right, 10 songs that just nail it right up to the finish line. Most of these albums are pretty much perfect albums, but there are a couple of albums here which maybe, aren't as good, but the one thing that they all have in common, the closing track, is absolutely sensational. I'm fast approaching a bench and I'm going to have a little sit down and talk about this first one. It's Primordial. That's right, this fantastic Irish black metal band is a band that I've not spoken enough about on this channel. In fact, I'm not sure I've mentioned them at all, so it's high time that I rectify that. And my choice is from the 2007 album To the Nameless Dead with No Nation on This Earth. This band has a wonderful mix of influences, namely from Celtic sort of folk music, along with more traditional black metal, and they have a sound all of their own and they utilize it so well. They're an incredible band. The song starts out with a very traditional black metal tremolo picked chord progression, but they add to it this Celtic folkiness that just gives it a flair all of its own. I've already said this, really. The song builds nicely and we get heavier sounding power chords along with frontman Alan Averill lending his shrieking vocals. Now this song is around 8 minutes, I think, and the first 4 minutes I think are fantastic. They've got this slow build to it, but it's the second half of the song where things get truly epic and really blast things off into the stratosphere. The instrumentation introduces more melodic guitar lines courtesy of Kieran McCulliam and Michael O'Flonian. This is going to be one of those videos where I just fuck up all the names, isn't it? While the rhythm section of bassist Paul McCamley and drummer Simon Ola... Oh, fuck me. That's not his surname. Things go on into an almost more militaristic march, while Alan screams, "Tell me what nation on this earth is not born of tragedy, that has not felt such harsh weapons wielded by cruelty's desire." And it always gives me goosebumps when he screams desire for the second time, the final vocal on the album. It's just such a damn good song and it sees this incredible album off perfectly. It's just amazing. And next up, before I get off my fat ass and actually start walking, we'll go through the next track, Immolation, Christ Cage, From Here in After. This is, of course, from the band's second album in 1996, and there were quite a lot of albums that I could have chosen. I mean, Close to a World Below itself, the title track, is an absolute banger, but I went for this one because this one has a real eeriness to it. The intro of this starts out with this really unsettling atmosphere along with squealing guitars. It kind of reminds me very much of Angel of Death by Thin Lizzy. The intro bit, I mean, not the actual song. The criminally underrated guitarist Robert Vigner introduces these guitar lines in this disturbingly ambient intro that just conjures up images of lost souls just finding their way, and it's a very cool atmosphere that it conjures up to begin with. There's a good minute and a half of the song building up with drummer Craig Skamolsky building things up nicely before we get some really nice double bass kicking things in, off, whatever. Frontman and bassist Ross Dolan sounds as menacing as he's ever done on this track. Where they leave their sin, where they worship him, they see more than what he is. In his cage they are his slaves, empty and silent, barren his kingdom. He will perish, alone in heaven. Gates of gold, now his cage. Christ's caged. Christ. Jesus. Fantastic closer. Not necessarily my favourite Immolation album, but it's still a banger of an album. And such a good goddamn good. It's a good outro track. Words. Next up is a very obvious pick, Mastodon with The Last Baron from 2009's Crack the Skye. This is another band where I could have chosen quite a few of their closers. A couple that spring to mind would be Jaguar God from 2017's Emperor of Sand, or Gigantium, which closed 2021's Hushed and Grim, but I decided to go with this one because Crack the Skye is my favourite album, and as far as concept albums go, this one is one of my favourites of all time. The song clocks in just shy of 13 minutes. Fucking words. The song clocks in just shy of 13 minutes, which for a band who are renowned for doing long, epic songs It's probably one of their longest, I think. The song starts off with a nice acoustic riff, and things slowly build over the next 3 minutes before we get the first real switch up in the song with this nice delay-drenched guitar riff from Hines. I remember seeing this live many times on this tour. It was always cool when he launched into this particular part of the song. This then segues into a very Bill Kelleher sounding riff, his very Hetfieldian right hand kind of style going on. What a terrible description. And again, things progress for a few more minutes until we suddenly get to that lick. I will be licking nothing, I assure you. Don't be a dickhead. Exactly. I'm sure that any of you who are long-time Mastodon fans like myself, who heard this album for the first time, when it reaches that point in the song, you just can't help but think, what the fuck was that? The lick in question, of course, being that Zappa-esque horn section provided to us by Brent Hines. That's just so damn, just comes really out of left field, and it's just such a goddamn tasty lick. Goddamn, stop saying lick. Ugh. Things continue in this much more crazed out psychedelic direction till we get to around sort of 8 minutes 20, when we're introduced with a much more funky riff with a great bass line from Troy Sanders and groovy percussion from Brandaler. I forgot to say that bit. Well, obviously not, because I've just said it. And the final section of the song sees us returning to that introduction acoustic riff, but with this time Brent Hines doing a wonderful improvised solo over the top of it as we see ourselves out of the song and out of the album. I mean, this album has been a favourite of mine ever since I first heard it. It was just one of those albums that grabbed me immediately. The whole concept of the album, the incredible journey that it takes you on musically, lyrically, spiritually, physically. My next pick is another glaringly obvious one. Slayer, Raining Blood, from Rain in Blood. Somebody quite rightly corrected me when I called this the title track of the album on several videos back. It is technically the same thing, well, it's not the same thing, is it? One's Rain in Blood, one's Raining Blood. Jesus Christ. But honestly, how could I not include this on the list? Not only is this an incredible closer to one of the greatest thrash albums of all time, but it's also a pivotal moment in the band's live set. You know what I mean? I've seen the band a lot over the years, and we all know that experience, those drums. When those drums kick in for the intro, we all know what's about to kick off. You know what I mean? It's such a good feeling, that build. Dave Lombardo just ding. He does it a bit better than that. Hanneman and King, of course, then doing the squealing guitar dive bombs to just, much like the aforementioned Immolation song, just conjure up those images of lost souls in purgatory. Every self-respecting metalhead knows those drums and what's about to happen when they kick off. It's entwined in our DNA at this point. We just know it. Even if you've never heard the song, I think it's just a prerequisite, some genetic predisposition to know that when you hear those drums, something's about to kick off. And indeed we do. We get that unmistakable dual guitar line from Hanneman and King, followed by that thrash riff, followed by that other thrash riff, you know, the Spider one that I still can't fucking play after all these fucking years, or at least I can't play it properly up to speed. Fuck you. Before Tom Araya regales us with a cheery tale of a lost soul who's cast out of heaven into purgatory, and now how he just wants, hang on, let me just quote this from Hanneman. He's waiting for revenge and wants to fuck that place up. Ah, wonderful. Just makes you feel warm inside, doesn't it? Not only that, the da-dun, 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 that part, you know, that bit, which I so eloquently did there. I think many people actually regard that as one of the first real breakdowns in a song. Truly epic song, truly epic finish to a truly epic fucking album. About an epic subject, I mean, fuck's sake, being cast out of heaven into purgatory. It's pretty fucking metal as fuck. Whew. Next up, Metallica, Call of Cthulhu. Once again, another band who have had no shortage of epic closes. They've always known how to structure an album, the sequencing of an album, very well. I could have quite easily have gone with Dyer's Eve from Injustice, which is fucking incredible. I love that song. Of course, we got Damage Incorporated on Master of Puppets. My Apocalypse on Death Magnetic's a good one. Spit Out the Bone is a great one from Hardwired. But yeah, it had to be Call of Cthulhu. Not only am I a huge Metallica fan, not only am I a huge Cliff Burton fan, but I'm a huge H.P. Lovecraft fan. This song is really Cliff Burton's song. If you really pay attention to what Cliff's doing on the bass, he completely owns this song. He had so much to do with the instrumentation of it, the orchestration of it. Yes, I'm well aware that Dave Mustaine wrote the intro. Wasn't it originally called Trapped? This might have been what was originally called Trapped Under Ice, or no, Till Hell Freezes Over. I think that's what it was originally called. The cinematic nature of this song is just unparalleled, in my opinion. I mean, it's about the great old one himself, Cthulhu, and you can just imagine him rising out of the sea, rising out of the ocean, yeah, breaking through the water and just emerging and scaring the shit out of you, really. Starts out with the aforementioned Dave Mustaine clean intro, and things just build and build throughout the entirety of the song with great riffs from Hetfield, get some great solos from Hammett, and of course the aforementioned Cliff Burton's bass work on this, which is just, he was something else, Cliff, he really was. I know that a lot of people think he's overrated, but far from it for me. He had a real punky kind of attitude to his technical playing. It's just, oh man, I fucking love this. To be fair, Lars does a solid job on this as well. The outro bit really works well, you know, the huge drums that he puts in there, you know. He does get a lot of shit, but when he's, you know, in his day, he did admirably, and they fit the songs, man, you know, fit the songs. Truly epic closer. Love this song, love this album. Ride the Lightning is arguably my favourite Metallica album. Master of Puppets close behind, and Justice for All, but yeah, Ride the Lightning, real special place for me. Love this album. Call of Cthulhu. How many times can I say it's a good fucking closer? The next pick would be Iron Maiden, Hallowed Be Thy Name, from, of course, The Number of the Beast, 1983. Once again, another band with no shortage of great closers, but it had to be this one. I just absolutely adore this song. Number of the Beast is not my favourite Iron Maiden album, but it is a classic, and I do love a lot of them. A lot of the songs on it, and I fucking love this song. It's just so goddamn good. The song starts out with these haunting guitar lines that are backed up by this drum that symbolises the passing of time, almost like the clock ticking down, as our protagonist, in this case, a prisoner who is reflecting on his life in a situation of how he got there, as he is being led to the gallows pole to be hung, to be executed. That's going to be fucking harsh, man. With Bruce Dickinson, of course, informing us, I'm waiting in my cold cell as the bell begins to chime. Reflecting on my past life, and it doesn't have much time. Because at 5 o'clock, they take me to the gallows pool. And the sands of time, for me, are running low. This is one of those moments where often people see me filming these videos and question, what the fuck is he doing? I do, all the time, all the time. As the song progresses, we get all of those classic Maiden elements, the galloping guitars, those fantastic bass lines from Steve Harris, the dual guitar harmonies, you know, Bruce Dickinson's fantastic voice, outstanding drumming. Maiden really do Maiden songs better than anyone else. As the narrative goes on, the prisoner goes from debating how he got there, worried about death as he approaches the gallows pole, wondering why God forsaken him, and then somehow reclaiming his faith and realising that actually life goes on. This particular portal, this particular plane of life is but naught. It'd be nice to think there's something better, wouldn't it? This song is just classic Maiden and finishes a classic Maiden album. Absolutely epic. Love this one. Always have, always will. So there you go. I'm going to go this way. So people are watching me now after I'm just doing some dance and shit. This is the stuff I do for you. Next up, from my favourite Black Sabbath album, Into the Void, from, of course, Master of Reality. I fucking love that album. God damn. And is this outro song. This might well be my favourite Black Sabbath song. I mean, that opening riff is just so recognisable and so damn catchy. Not only did Sabbath arguably birth metal, I know there were some proto-metal bands before that, but this album in particular pretty much, you know, gave us the birth of doom and stoner metal. This one album, that down tune, fucking, we're getting to bee season. See the bees are bastards. The riff that kicks in at around 1 minute 15 is just one of the best. How can you not nod your head to that riff? You know what I mean? I could go on. But things get even better when we get that hypnotizing bass line. And of course, Bill Ward's just legendary jazz-like drumming just gives it such a swing. It's just like, oh, goddamn, so damn good. Ozzy then leaps in to inform us of somebody leaving the Earth due to the dystopian future. Can I go as well? Rocket engines burning fuel so fast, up into the night sky they blast. Through the universe the engines whine, could it be the end of man and time? Back on Earth the flame of life burns low, everywhere is misery and woe. Fucking tell me about it. Pollution kills the air, the land, the sea, man prepares to do his destiny or something. Fucking shite. Yeah, poignant. Once again, one of my favourite all-time Black Sabbath songs, and lyrically just as relevant now as it ever has been. Isn't that the thing with metal? Don't you find it's just so many of the subjects covered? So sad that a lot of these songs that we're listening to that I still love are decades old at this point, and yet it feels like, lyrically speaking, they could have been written today. Just very, very shite. Good song though, but shite. My next pick is another band that I don't really mention enough on this channel, considering how much I love them, and that's High on Fire, with The Lethal Chamber from Luminiferous, which is probably my favourite High on Fire album. This one is just, it's got so many elements of the band that I love on this. Now, there's actually a lot of their faster songs on this album. Some really fast, thrash-paced songs. I don't know if you guys have noticed that I never rehearse any of this stuff. This song, though, is a real sludge fest. Things start off sludgy as hell, and they pretty much stay like that for the entirety of, I think it's like an 8-minute song. The riff that kicks in at around 1 minute 10, listen to that riff and try not to get stank face. It's impossible. It's just one of those, just one of those dirty ass riffs, you know. Matt Pike's guitar tone on this one is heavy as all hell. I mean, it always is, to be fair. I could be wrong, but this one feels like a very underrated song to me, but this is one of those ones I just cannot skip. It's just ridiculously good. It offers everything that's so damn great about High on Fire. Just the sludginess, the heaviness, the conspiracy theoriousness. Yes, High on Fire, the bloke gives his blessing. Unfortunately, there's only one song on this album that's actually available on Spotify. I guess I don't know if it's a label thing. I think that it's on the same label as most of their other stuff. I could be wrong, but it's really annoying when that happens, when you're trying to put a playlist together and then there's, you know, you just can't listen to it. But of course you can either buy the album, you piece of shit. There was no need for that. You can hear it easy enough on YouTube. But man, this song is just, oh, I fucking love it. High on Fire are great. And also, how can you deny lyrics like this? The twin suns, locked in cadence, vast magnetic pull. Nibiru speculation now confirming truth. A solar wind as time begins to birth us man anew. A race of giants dimension spires to help them travel through. Metal as fuck. Come on, metal as fuck. Okay, my penultimate pick. Again, one that I couldn't not choose. Down. Bury Me in Smoke. Much like I mentioned earlier with Slayer and Raining Blood, this is one of those amazing songs that not only closes a classic album, but often closes the band's live show. In fact, it always closes their live show. I've seen them live many times, and it's always great when you've got that great outro riff playing, and they quite often get guests from the other bands coming on to jam over, you know, play solos over that outro riff. Fucking amazing. Of course, this one is a ode to the leaf and its medicinal purposes. I have an escape. Alone it keeps me safe within my home. I have a reason to keep me satisfied until I'm gone. Don't regret the rules are broke, but when I die, bury me in smoke. Don't do that to me. I'm sober now. I've been for a while. Bad habits in it. I've spoken about this song tons of time on this channel already, and I know that a lot of you are huge fans of it as well, so I'm not going to go on too much more about it, but 100% had to be on this list. Incredible song, incredible close to an album, so an incredible album at that. My final choice for this one is Gojira with Grind from their, was it 2021 album? Fortitude. Now, this is not my favourite Gojira album at all. In fact, I don't listen to this much at all, if I'm quite honest with you, but I do think it's a good album. But I love this song. I love this closer. We get all the trademark Gojira staples throughout this song. We've got the groove, we get the pick scrapes, we've got the natural harmonics, the incredible drumming from Mario Duplantier, and of course the impassioned vocals from his brother, Joe Duplantier, also a Duplantier, of the French Duplantiers. You're all shredded, you're all scarred, fighting the tide. Your tough face on, you think you'll last long against the grain? Bit accusatory there, Joe. But it's the bass-driven outro of this song that always truly draws me in, by Christian Andrew. What? He's the only band member that you haven't mentioned yet. I was getting there. Plays guitar. Yes. Jean-Michel Labadie. I'm probably butchering these fucking names, but that outline, that outro bass line is just hypnotic. It's so damn emotional. You know what I mean? There's just something about that bass line that just gets me thinking, gets me very introspective when I hear it. It's just a beautiful outro to the song. As I said, not my favourite Gojira album by any stretch, but there's some solid songs on there, and the outro is just fucking great. I love that song. So there we go. That's my 10 great album closers. I've got many more, so if you're interested in a part 2, I can easily do one of those. And as always, make sure you leave your comments and tell me what your favourite ones are. Anyway, I've been going on for so fucking long. It's definitely time for me now to go and enjoy this wonderful sunshine. We're getting there, folks. We're getting there. We're getting into spring. Winter is finally fucking off. Mind you, by the time this video comes out, I'll have actually, it'll probably be a couple of weeks before I edit it and put it out. So, could be that the weather's shit again by that point. But I'm enjoying the now. And I've got a week's holiday as well, so awesome. Yeah. Let me know your picks, and I'm heading off now to enjoy this wonderful sunshine. Catch you later, peeps. God, just fucking end.